One of the things that we're seeing the most at the moment about UA finance, it's first of all that UA financing is kind of a
Oh my
standard.
God.
It's kind of a standard at the moment. I'm telling you,
crazy.
all of the companies that we work with has UA financing, and they reached to kind of post Series A, and they know they're not raising money anymore,
I know,
only
I
UA
know.
financing. Why do you think that this is such a big trend at the moment?
It's so interesting because I told you that we did it first in 2017. So when I came to developers back in the day, I needed to educate not like what I'm offering, like what is it even UA finance? I need to explain the model because there was nothing like it. There was VC money, loans. So, and then after a few years, okay, there were a few more players out there, maybe two, okay? When we announced in the beginning of the year the $150 million fund, we were still one of the only ones. Sadly, I don't know what happened in 2025, a flood in the market. Everyone is offering it, including a very clear transition for VCs from investment to UA financing. Why? I think it's a risk question. They see the same things we're seeing or the things we talked about, launching new games. And they're like, okay, why would I bet on a company when I can actually get involved with UA financing? There is risk, but is much less risk. I'm not going to get the same gain. I'm going to get, a certain percentage, but I'm going to be involved. I'm going to see what they're doing. I have a foot in the door, and it's much safer, so that's what they're doing. Now, when I look at it, I have to admit, I'm a bit cynical in the sense that they think it's easy. It's not easy.
To do UA financing?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy because, a lot of them are doing it from purely financial point of view. It's limited. When everything goes well, it's okay. But
most of the time, it's not.
When you come to it from a place that you do UA yourself, you know how to run games, you know how to produce games, it's very different.
I think it's becoming a trend. Like the market is flood with companies, you have specific companies that are doing only UA financing.
Yeah.
Like you say, you have VCs that are doing General Catalyst. We have also V Games now with GC kind of partnership.
Yeah.
And do you have more companies like Tilting Point that are doing UA financing?
We're very unique in that.
It's very special.
We're very special in that, and I like it a lot, as I told you, because I think it gives a lot of developers what they actually need. Today, I don't think that there's going to be someone looking for UA financing that is not going to put us in the top 3-5 options. There's more shopping for sure, but it's going to come to us as well, organically. So that's great, and it is unique. And while sometimes I can't, for example, be the cheapest, I don't also want to be the cheapest. I don't think that I'm interested in this race to the bottom to make it like a market, bazaar. But at the same time, I think that I get this advantage because they see that the person speaking to them understands what they're doing.
Yeah, I think this is the USP because you're coming from this is what's special about Tilting Point. It's super different you're not. First of all, you're gamers.
Yeah.
You did it for a long time. You adapted in the market. You saw the bad stuff, the good stuff, the history. And what else UA financing include from your point of view besides, the money? Do you have a more...
Look, there is the whole idea of post-deal, right? Monitoring, consulting, working with a developer. It could be monthly meetings that we do, but it's also weekly consultation. So in a sense, we're not like, okay, boom, sign the deal. Thank you. Bye. Sometimes
VCs are like that.
No, it's a partnership. It's a partnership. We're trying not to intervene. I always tell developers, it's like you're driving the car, but I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go and grab your wheel or anything like that. But if I see that you're approaching a cliff, I'm going to tell you, maybe. Or if I work with others, and I work on my own games, and I see that suddenly there is a channel that became very strong for something, I'm going to share with you the insight. I want to help you. So why wouldn't I share with you? So my point is, we are passive, but we can be helpful. That's
you have the benchmark. You like you said, you have a wide view. And okay, this is the hardest question of all, I think. But how do you know what game to choose? Meaning that, okay, this podcast called Unpredictable Hits because it's really, you can't predict entertainment and what will work. But when you have a new game that comes to you, whether it's for acquisition, whether it's even in the past that you launch or for UA financing, like what are the stuff that you're looking at and say, I think that is going to be a hit?
Look, in the past, when we did the UA financing in the first fund, the second fund, we were much more about, I want to identify something that before it becomes big. Okay, that was our thesis. And I'll give you an example. One of the successes to illustrate was Match 3D, the first ever.
Oh my God!
So basically, invented the genre.
Of Match 3D.
Match
now
3D.
It's
loop games. So this guy made Match 3D. 5 guys in a room in Turkey, and I probably took him 2 months. He was also very smart with AI to create levels. So
they just raised money, no? Loop, or am I wrong? Never mind.
No, I think it's a different one. But because he sold. And so he made this game and it's coming to us. And, Turkey, they have this thing that you can get subsidized UA from the government at the beginning. Genius. He got that. And then he came to us and said, look, I'm at $500,000 a month. Already very nice. And the payback was super, super fast because the retention was crazy on this game. And he's like, I want to grow. And I want someone to be flexible, to understand what's happening. And we took him from $500,000 to $8 million a month in less than a year.
Wow.
It was crazy, this growth. And because he was 5 guys in a room, the EBITDA, the profit was super insane. High. Yeah. And then he sold it for $200 million. But my point is that this was kind of our model. I want to see something. Today, we're different. I think it's the nature of the market, more conservative. Today, I will prefer much more to do a deal that is much bigger, even someone that spends $5 million.
Oh, wow.
Even someone that spends $10 million. Like, it's much more about you have the history, you have the spend, maybe I help you with allocating cash, because it's no longer the guys that will come to me, oh, I don't have money. And it's more like, okay, I won't be smart. Like you said, instead of investment, I'll take this. I'll move my, cubes, pawns in a smarter way. So that's a bit how we think about it. And some of the names, I can't mention, unfortunately, but you would be surprised. You would say, wow, this company asking for UA funding, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you're saying that basically, which is it's the first time that I'm hearing about it because I know this kind of threshold even today of $500,000 a month that goes to now it's relevant. It's past our threshold. I think because they're looking at like financial analysts, which is not necessarily the truth about game. And now basically what you're saying is that if your game is even kind of scaled already, like few millions dollars, even more, it's relevant for UA financing.
100%. And this is a new phenomena. I didn't see it.
I think it's you're leading it at the moment. I don't know it with other studios.
Look, it's super interesting, and I think that a lot of our competitors in UA financing, it's like they're not necessarily able to do that size, but for us, we had a lot of conversations at very large sizes, including public companies, which is super interesting.